Most men chase women with compliments, stories, and endless talking. Playboys don't. Playboys ask questions. Not ordinary questions, but forbidden questions. The kind that bypass logic, slip under her defenses, and awaken the part of her she hides from the world. Because here's the truth. When you ask a woman something that only makes her think, she might smile, she might answer, and she might remember you for a moment. It stays at the surface. It's logical, it's safe, it's forgettable. But when you ask her something that makes her feel, something that awakens her curiosity, stirs her body, or unlocks a part of her she rarely shows, the memory lingers. She doesn't just recall the words, she recalls the sensation, the pause in her breath, the shift in her heartbeat, the spark that caught her off guard. And that's the difference most men never understand. Words that make her think create conversations, but words that make her feel create imprints. Imprints she carries with her long after the moment ends. That's why one powerful question can do more than hours of talking, because she won't just remember what you said, she'll remember how you made her feel. These are 7 forbidden questions that create desire without touching her. Questions that turn a normal conversation into something unforgettable. Before we begin, subscribe and be a part of the community. Let's begin. Question 1. What's something about you no one ever notices but you wish they did? This question cuts past the performance. It doesn't ask for the obvious. It doesn't keep her safe in small talk. It forces her to pause, to think, and to reveal a part of herself she rarely lets anyone see. Most men stay on the surface, complimenting her looks, her style, maybe her smile. Safe words. Predictable words. Words she's heard 1,000 times. And that's why they fade into the background. But when you ask this question, you invite her into the space behind the mask. You're asking her to share something hidden, something real. Maybe it's her intelligence, her wit, her ambition, her hidden softness. Maybe it's a side of her personality no one ever slows down enough to notice. And here's the power. The moment she shares it with you, she feels seen in a way she almost never does. Not for the costume she wears in public, but for the truth she keeps in private. You become the man who notices what others miss. The man who isn't dazzled by the obvious, but drawn to the invisible. And that, right there, is unforgettable. Question 2. The reckless game. If you had 5 seconds of reckless freedom with me, what would you do? This is not small talk. It's not safe. It's not routine. It's mischief. It's imagination. It's an invitation to escape the script. Most conversations follow the same tired rhythm. Where are you from? What do you do? What kind of music do you like? Safe questions. Forgettable questions. But this one? It disrupts everything. It pulls her into a moment of possibility. For just 5 seconds, the rules vanish. Her guard loosens. And suddenly she has to picture herself with you, in a scenario that feels dangerous, playful, maybe even forbidden. And here's the secret. It doesn't matter how she answers. If she laughs and says something outrageous, the tension rises. If she deflects with nervous humor, she's still imagining it. If she goes quiet, avoids your eyes, or smirks without answering, then the silence is louder than words. Because the truth is, the power isn't in her reply, it's in the spark you ignite in her imagination. You've made her step into a scene where you're the center. You've planted the seed of desire without ever touching her, and now her mind is playing with it on its own. And that's the beauty of this question. It's not a confession. It's not pressure. It's play. Pure, reckless, unfiltered play. And once she links that sense of freedom to your presence, she'll crave more of it. Question 3. The secret rule breaker. What's the one rule you secretly love breaking? Every woman carries a hidden side. The side no one sees in public. The side that doesn't follow the rules, that bends boundaries, that thrives in little rebellions. Most men never touch this layer. They want her polished. They want her pretty. They want her predictable. They try to keep her in the good girl box, the one that feels safe and easy to handle. But here's the truth. Desire doesn't live in safety. It lives in rebellion. This question pulls her into that space. It gives her permission to admit she isn't perfect. That beneath the smile, beneath the polished mask, there's a little chaos waiting to slip through. Maybe it's sneaking out late at night. Maybe it's lying to get what she wants. Maybe it's something darker, more primal, more dangerous. And here's the real power: whatever her answer, you don't flinch. You don't laugh nervously. You don't rush to react. You just hold it with calm, steady energy. That's when something shifts. She realizes she can show you her chaos without scaring you away. She realizes you're not another man who needs her to be small, sweet, and simple. You've shown her you can hold space for both sides, the safe and the reckless, the polished and the wild. And once she feels that, she starts craving you. Not because you complimented her, but because you invited her to be fully human. That's rare. That's intoxicating. And that's unforgettable. Question 4. The body betrayal. Which part of your body betrays you first when you feel turned on? This is bold, but it's not vulgar. You're not asking for fantasies. You're not asking for dirty details. You're asking for awareness. In one question, you shift her attention away from her words and straight into her body. Suddenly, she's not thinking. She's feeling. Maybe it's her lips that give her away. Maybe it's her breath that comes a little faster. Maybe her pulse quickens, her skin warms, or her eyes soften before she even realizes it. Whatever her answer, it doesn't really matter, because in order to answer, she has to imagine it. She has to feel it. And she's feeling it right there in front of you. That's the secret. It's not about the words that leave her mouth. It's about what happens in her nervous system. You've made her body respond in real time, and now that sensation is tied to you. And here's where it goes deeper. Every time she notices her body react that way in the future, even when she's alone, your question echoes. Your presence becomes linked to her desire. You've planted yourself not just in her memory, but in her physiology. That's not attraction. That's imprinting. And it happens because you didn't push, you didn't perform. You simply guided her awareness into her own body, and then held the space calmly, like a man who's not rattled by feminine energy but welcomes it. That's when desire stops being casual and starts becoming obsession. Question 5. The hidden desire. What's one thing you've always wanted to try but never had the courage to? This question isn't about her past, it's about her future. It's a door into her hidden world of imagination. Everyone has a list of secret wants, adventures they never took, experiences they were too scared, too busy, or too shy to admit, desires they tucked away because no one ever asked. When you ask this question, you unlock that world. She doesn't just answer with words, she pictures it. Maybe it's something adventurous like traveling the world alone. Maybe it's something wild like kissing a stranger. Maybe it's something intimate, vulnerable, even forbidden. And here's the power: you don't judge. You don't tease. You just let her share. Because in that moment, she's not just telling you a dream, she's inviting you into it. Suddenly, you're no longer just a man she's talking to. You're possibility. You're the spark of courage she never gave herself. You're the one who makes her feel like life could be bigger, freer, more alive. And once she feels that with you, it's game over. Because she won't just want to tell you her hidden desire, she'll start imagining you as the one she could finally live it with. Question 6. The polarity question. Would you rather be understood or devoured? This is not a light question. It's not a tease. It's not a joke. It's a mirror. Because inside every woman are two cravings that constantly wrestle with each other. The craving to be cherished, seen, deeply understood. And the craving to be taken, ignited, devoured. Most men only know how to offer one. The nice guy tries to understand. The reckless guy tries to devour. But the man who can hold both? That man is rare. That man is dangerous. When you ask this question, you're showing her you understand her deepest contradiction. If she says, understood, you nod slowly, showing her she's safe with you. If she says, devoured, you let a slow smile creep in, showing her fire doesn't scare you. And if she hesitates, torn between the two, that's when her guard drops completely. Because you've spoken out loud the tension she lives with but never voices. And in that silence, she feels exposed, invited. And she links that rare recognition, not to the question itself, but to you. That's not flirting. That's fusion. That's how you stop being a man she talks to and become a man she can't shake out of her head. Question 7. The spontaneous spark. What's the most spontaneous thing you've ever done? This question seems playful, but it carries fire underneath it. When she answers, she doesn't just tell you a story. She relives it. She feels the laughter, the adrenaline, the thrill of breaking routine. Maybe it was a road trip at midnight, sneaking into a concert, or kissing someone she barely knew. Whatever it was, her body remembers. Her face lights up. Her energy shifts. And here's the brilliance. You become linked to that feeling, because you're the one who brought it back to life. This question doesn't just uncover her past. It sets the stage for the future. Because once she relives that spark, you can lean in with a simple follow-up. So if you had to do something spontaneous this weekend, what would it be? Now she's not just remembering, she's imagining. Imagining a new moment, a new adventure. And if you've held the energy right, she's imagining it with you. That's the kind of shift most men never create. They talk, they impress, they try. But you awaken. You relight the part of her that wants to feel alive again. And once she feels that with you, she won't want to let it go. If this lesson speaks to you, don't let it go. Subscribe and lock it in. This isn't the end, it's the beginning of a new you. Share with friends to carry them along.